I want to thank the energy for sharing a particular passage. It showed motivation. It was 7-7. But as for me, it is for Jehovah that I shall keep on the lookout. I will show a waiting attitude for the God of my salvation. My God will hear me. Believe it. Believe it. That message was sent to me, to my soul. And I wanted to say thank you to that energy because it is definitely felt. And it also lets me know that there are plenty out there that understand the importance of connection, regardless of what we describe as our individualistic belief system. Okay? So, like I mentioned, Aminism, or some aspect of it anyway, it just has to do with the appreciation of various different belief systems. Okay? And understanding that each of them carry a certain energy that was upheld during a certain time frame or period in order for our souls to evolve. Actually, we descended, to be quite honest. And whether people want to say it was purposely or not, at this point, it don't matter. What we should be really looking at is the fact that we need to move forward. Okay? We need to move forward. The other day I mentioned masculine and feminine energies. A lot of people like to subscribe it to what's going on currently with regards to gender, practices, etc. What I will say is that we need to be looking into the subconscious mind, because that right there will determine what our unique walk may look like. A lot of us are here together. Our family, our soul families, represent a different, higher vibrational family unit because it is based in an authentic truth of self. And if we haven't reached total authentic self yet, that's okay. But the idea is that we're progressing towards that. The authentic self includes many different things, and we're breaking it down energetically wise, as I usually do. And so I also like to look at some passages and relate it to the energy within these passages. Recently, I posted something, okay? And it happened to have been, which one was it? It was Psalms 5, 7 through 10, right? Psalms 5, 7 through 10. As for me, in the abundance of your loving kindness, I shall come into your house. I shall bow down toward your body temple in fear of you. O Jehovah, lead me in your righteousness by reason of my foes. Make your ways smooth before me. For in their mouth there is nothing trustworthy. Their inward part is adversity indeed. Their throat is an open burial place. A smooth tongue they use. This is just giving a demonstration of how the throat chakra could be used in a masculine, action-based, low vibrational way. This can be utilized by a gender, a female, a male, or even any gender that is an entity or a body complex. We're not necessarily talking about genitalia at this time, although most people feel like that's what is need to be done. We're talking about the energy of it. So this particular passage describes the energy of a masculine throat chakra that is utilized for a low vibrational frequency, which then places people inside of situations that is very close to disruption purposely. Okay, the mouth, especially when it's used to talk untrustworthy things. Again, I think on average we lie anywhere from 8 to 10 times a day. So we're not talking about perfection. What we're talking about is intention, habitual, perpetual. We're talking about consistent intent of disruption. That's what we're talking about. And again, a smooth tongue they use. What that means is that when you have to change a story, you have to make it believable. So, utilizing the throat chakra to create fantasies by adding and subtracting facts to suit the avatar's way of trying to be perceived, that in itself calls to question a lot of different things. Okay? Especially 5'9". Especially 5'9". When we look at 6 to 7, right? I'm going to let you guys see it. I have grown weary with my sighing. All night long, I make my couch swim. With my tears, I make my own divan overflow. I don't know. From vexation, my eyes has become weak. When we talk about crying, it's seen as something done that's vulnerable, but we're not given anything within our human body complex that's not expected to be utilized. And so when people don't cry or don't express their emotions, it bottles up, and then you don't allow it to be transmuted. And so therefore it stays within the human body complex, and then it develops into this whole big dense energy, which then, instead of it being transmuted, it settles into the human body complex, and then it goes more so from the higher vibrational frequency of speaking life into a situation, even though it's the truth. So we speak about the truth that may appear to be negative, but at the same time, when you speak the truth, it calls for some type of acknowledgement, accountability, and change. So that's the action, masculine, high vibrational aspect of it. The lower one we just described. Now we're going into the feminine energy. These are just Bible passages that describe energy. So when we talk about that, we hear the divine feminine, okay, the feminine aspect of being subtle, okay, her emotional intelligence, her sacral, okay, her utilizing the truth of her existence as far as her heart chakra, and her ability to understand that the masculine energy is within her, but she needs to let the masculine know how she's feeling in order for him to say, okay, I hear you. I can see your weaknesses, and let me be the counter to your weaknesses so that you could be the counter to my weaknesses. This can happen from within. I always say God within and God without. This can happen without. When we always look as if God is outside of us, then we feel sometimes that we can say and do anything with regards to Father, Mother, God, universe, or whatever, and not be reprimanded. God gives us grace, and that's why we are asked to repent, including myself, okay? I'm not excluded from this. One of the reasons why I came here was to experience the human experience so that I can find compassion, so that I can understand sympathy and empathy and all of these different human emotions, okay? So with that being said, the divine feminine energy, which we can see being expressed worldwide, is pretty much being seen as something weak and vulnerable and easy to be taken advantage of. And this even goes for within men. Men has a feminine energy within them. And I've met a lot of unhealed masculines as well. Unfortunately, some of them even want to compete with me because sometimes I do carry on a masculine energy, But when I reflect, I understand why. There were certain things that was placed inside of my particular human experience, this timeline, that caused me to use my divine masculine energy against divine masculine energies because they felt uncomfortable with me expressing my divine femininity along with my masculine energy. See, they wanted me to be one or the other. And I'm saying that I can be both. However, I will not lie to you. For those that have been inside of their divine masculine energy for a very, very, very long time, you'll notice that there are times where you just really prefer to be in your divine feminine energy because that's how you receive. You receive masculine energy from a higher power, okay? Sometimes that's even your higher self. Okay, so that's pretty much what I wanted to share with everybody. As I mentioned before, we all have different ways of communicating. Some people call it code breaking. I don't know. All I know is that everything in here is not the absolute truth. Everything inside of that other one, the other bite, is not the absolute truth. Okay? Everything inside of different sacred texts that was formulated don't necessarily tell the whole truth, just parts and pieces. And that's my take on it. Okay? And that's how you expand. That's how you become a mosaic learner and teacher, because you don't limit yourself. Okay? Now, let's send everybody a love vibration for unconditional love and acceptance. You could check out my post today. Very relevant to what I just stated. That's why I decided to actually do a video on it, because I was like, wow, maybe I should break it down a little bit further for the sake of the one consciousness, and I was just led to do that. Take care.